In the literal and restorationist view, history moves through a precise sequence of divine separations, gatherings, and judgments. This perspective treats the prophecies of Israel's physical return as literal events that must happen outside of modern secular politics. Here is the detailed, step-by-step timeline from the gathering of the scattered remnant to the eternal state. Step 1, the second Exodus and entering the wilderness summarized. God gathers the scattered Israelites with a mighty hand and brings them into the wilderness of the people. Ezekiel 20:34-35. This is not a geopolitical flight organized by human governments, but a divinely led migration. In this wilderness, God pleads with them face to face and purges out the rebels from among them. Ezekiel 20:37-38. Step 2, entering the land and measuring the temple summarized. The refined true Israelites finally enter the geographic location of the true Jerusalem. They build the temple described in Revelation 11:1. John is told to measure the temple and the altar, signifying God's ownership, protection, and judgment over the true worshippers inside. The outer court is left out and given to the Gentiles, nations, to trample for 42 months. This shows that while the true remnant is physically in the land and worshiping, they are surrounded by hostile, ungodly global powers. During these same 1,260 days, the two witnesses preach in sackcloth, executing severe plagues upon the earth to protect the remnant and testify against the world. Step 3, the death of the witnesses and the wrath of God summarized. The beast Antichrist system is permitted to kill the two witnesses when their 3.5-year ministry ends. Their bodies lie in the streets of the Jerusalem for 3.5 days while the world rejoices. After 3.5 days, the breath of life from God re-enters them, they resurrect, and they ascend to heaven in a cloud. Immediately, a great earthquake strikes, destroying a tenth of the city. Step 4, the Millennium Age summarized. Satan is bound and cast into the bottomless pit so he cannot deceive the nations for the entire 1,000 years. Christ rules with a rod of iron alongside the resurrected saints and the vindicated true Israelites. The millennial temple, as detailed in Ezekiel 40-48, stands as the center of global worship. Nations are required to come to Jerusalem annually to keep the Feast of Tabernacles, Zechariah 14:16. It is an era of unprecedented environmental restoration, peace, and longevity, where the wolf and the lamb shall feed together. Step 5, the final battle, Gog and Magog, summarized. Satan is released from his prison to test the generations during the millennium. Satan successfully deceives the nations from the four corners of the earth. Gog and Magog, a massive global army, vast as the sand of the sea, gathers for war. They march across the earth and surround Jerusalem. No physical battle occurs. Before they can strike, fire comes down from God out of heaven and devours them. Satan is cast permanently into the lake of fire to join the beast and false prophet. Step 6, the Great White Throne Judgment, summarized. The final universal judgment of all humanity from all ages. The current physical heaven and earth flee away from the presence of him who sits on the throne. All the dead, small and great, are resurrected. The books are opened alongside the book of life. Anyone whose name is not found written in the book of life is cast into the lake of fire. Death and hell are also cast into the lake of fire, permanently eliminating them from existence. Step 7, the eternal state summarized. God creates a new heaven and a new earth, for the first universe has passed away. The new Jerusalem descends out of heaven from God. This massive city of pure gold and precious gems becomes the literal dwelling place of God among men. There is no temple in this city, because the Lord God Almighty and the Lamb are its temple. There is no more curse, no more pain, no more crying, and no more death. The redeemed nations walk in the light of the city, and the leaves of the tree of life heal the nations as they live in eternal fellowship with God.